Wednesday. It's Creative Chat Cafe. Welcome back. If you're new to the talk show, Hangout, as we call it, it's where we talk and discuss about marketing, business development, and also leadership topics, and we offer you guidance, inspiration, and results. And I am your host, Zef Zan, and I am so looking forward to this entire half an hour with my co-host down here, Julie Braun, and also our guest for today, Miss Sondra Firestein, all the way from Seattle. Woohoo! And I just want to share with you real quick the hashtag that we use for the show so that you can actually Google search us and also, follow and track all of our previous shows. So I'm going to show you my hashtag, and you look down here, which is hashtag Creative Chat Cafe, and you can watch it on our website at www.entrepreneurs.soar.com. So I want to get started with kind of having these two ladies here introduce themselves. So you've seen Julie Braun as my regular co-host on Creative Chat Cafe. Julie, why don't you get started and introduce yourself?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. I'm Super Julie Braun.
Let me give you a clap first. Yay!
I am the co-founder of superinterns.com, and what we do is we help companies grow successfully by utilizing interns.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank
you. We have Miss Sondra all the way from Seattle. Also, Sondra, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sondra Firestein, and I live in Seattle, and I just started Pursuit Concierge Lifestyle Management. It's a company to help people achieve a work-life balance by alleviating the pressures of daily responsibilities, and we just take over the stuff that's not so fun that you have to do every day, so that way you get to spend a few extra hours every week doing what you actually enjoy.
Super awesome. Thank you. Woohoo! I'm so excited to have you on here, and you too, Julie. So what we're going to do today, folks, we are going to do three things. We're discussing the topic that we have today, which is three killer keys to business success. Second of all, we're going to share with you some of our tips, how you can achieve the success that you need in your business. And the third part of this show is we're going to talk a little bit about some resources that we have for you that have inspired us and hopefully will also inspire you. So the topic today, three killer keys to business success. So here's what it is, right, folks, ladies? Everyone wants to be successful, but not many make it there. And I think the difference between making it to being successful or not can be, based on quite a few variables. And I think some of the questions that come up is, are you passionate about your idea or innovation? Do you actually have a plan? Are you taking actions on your plans? And are you willing to take some risk? You need help. Are you talking about money? So what are some of the things that you can do in your business that will help you achieve the success you envision yourself? So Julie, let's get started. What are the three killer keys to business success?
Great question. I think everyone wishes they knew this answer, and so now we're giving it to them. And having been in business for a long time, both you and myself, Sondra's a little bit newer to the entrepreneurial game, but the three keys really break down into number one, money, strategy, and getting help. And we're going to cover all three of them today. So do you want me to start off with money first?
Yeah, awesome. But I think the most important thing is why in that order? Is it random, or is that the order that you're going to talk about? And why is it important in that order?
Great question. Starting off with money first, when you know how much money you have, you really want to, or how much money you want, you really kind of go into the place of dreaming. That's why you started your business to begin with. You had dreams. You wanted to do something different than work for someone else. And so when you know how much money you want to make for the year, that's going to then feed into what kind of strategies are you going to need to pull together to actually accomplish that goal. So that's kind of the order, and then when we get to help, we'll talk more about that.
Sorry about jumping in, but you know, you're absolutely right about the strategy part. People do forget about that. They, you know, they just have the idea, but they forget about strategizing. And the money part, you're absolutely right, because many people put it last, you know, and you know, if you don't think about money, then why are you in business?
That's right. That's exactly it. And Sondra, because Sondra just started her business recently, I would love to know, Sondra, how important has money been to your business so far?
So it's definitely the starting point. You know, you don't want to just start a business and not have that end goal of having financial success. I mean, that's definitely an integral part of it. But for me, it's also important to know that I love what I do, so that I'm not just focusing on the money part. I'm not just trying to figure out how to squeeze money out of it, because if that were my only focus, it might be really challenging to go day by day. But when I know that I love what I do and I know that I'm helping people with it, the money that comes through that is kind of it's a bonus, and it's a really important bonus. But I know that whatever you do, if you love it, the money will come. So it's a matter of determining how much money do you need and what steps do you need to take within the context of what you love to reach that financial goal.
That's awesome. I love that. So when we start off with money first, you know, really, we want to really think about what is the goal with the money, and that plays into the passion part. I think at Super Interns, we're very philanthropic. We're not sitting on a big pile of cash yet, but when we are,
not yet. And here's the sound for it. Not yet, but soon. We shall celebrate that soon.
That's right. It's just a matter of time, for sure.
It's a process.
But when we do, that's when we're going to be able to do what those other goals are. And for us, we want to do a lot of good in the world. So the money comes first, then comes strategy. And strategy is really kind of figuring out what are the key things that are going to help us get that money. So let's say your first yearly goal is $100,000 for the year. Maybe that's your starting point. Or maybe your starting point is $50,000 a year. This is your first year, and you're thinking, well, $50,000 is going to be quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Awesome. You have to strategize. How am I going to get to that $50,000? And that can mean meeting with a group of people, having a strategy session, coming up with all of your brainstorming ideas. And somewhere in that room, the genius idea is going to pop up, and that's the idea that you should put all of your help on, which is step 3. When you have help, now they can work on those strategies to help you reach your goal. So that's kind of the thought here. I wanted to mention that one thing, Jimmy Wales, who I love this guy, he's the founder of Wikipedia. He's an absolute genius when it comes to assembling a group of people to help him. And so when we talk a little bit more about help and getting the kind of help you need, look towards people who are very innovative, very creative, very visionary.
Yeah.
He enlisted the world to create Wikipedia. And if you think that it's monitored, but it's not really monitored by employees, he has one employee working for him. One employee. Everyone else on his team is volunteering to add to Wikipedia, which is probably one of the world's greatest inventions, which is all about educating people.
Yeah, very true. And I kind of really love the fact that you mentioned about this help part of being successful in the business, is that I think many people also just don't know how to ask for help, and they'll just go like, I just don't know how to ask for help, you know. And make sad faces, because, you know, folks, sometimes it's also the personality thing. But I think getting help, like Julie says, is a big part of being successful in your business, because you have to keep on learning, because the learning process in your own business is continuous. So, for you folks out there who are starting out, just like, Sondra is. So Sondra, let me quickly ask you this question. What does, because you're starting off and you're getting your rhythm, what does asking for help look like, and why do you think it's important to grow in your business?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that Julie thinks that help comes last, because for me, it came first. And I had this idea of what I wanted to do, and I knew that I had financial goals that I wanted to reach. And so the very first thing I did before launching my business, before even writing out my business plan, was I got together with people that I see as very successful and just tried the idea out on them and asked for input and wanted to hear where their mind went when I told them my idea. And so it wasn't that I necessarily went to them asking for help, but I knew internally that that's what I was looking for, that I had an idea, but everyone else around me has their own ideas, and it can be really helpful to just bring up an idea to someone and hear what their reaction is, and that can be really helpful. I think it's okay to seek advice as well. If you have an idea of how things will work out, but you know that there's someone that's already addressed those issues, just tap into their knowledge base and see what they've done. And there's no need to reinvent the wheel with processes that are in place. People have been trying for hundreds of years to figure out how things work best. And if you can tap into that knowledge base, it'll give you a lot of guidance on the directions you want to go and the paths that you want to take. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it's really through conversation and just not being shy to open up a conversation with someone. If you have someone that, like Julie was actually a huge source of information for me, although we're not in the same industry, owns her own business.
She's always a resource for everybody, and I love that about her.
Thank you.
Clap for you.
But it's so helpful to have someone that has already tried things out and have, that's the thing, is that and we're going to get into this a little later, is when you start a business, you have to not really be afraid of failure, and there's going to be small steps of failure that it's inevitable. You're going to reach that. So what can you do to kind of skip over some failure that's not really necessary because other people have figured out the way to do it? So for me, it's from start to finish, and even once I'm sitting on that huge pile of cash, I'm still going to need guidance. I'm still going to need help. I'm still going to need advice, and I don't think that asking for help ever stops.
I want to ask Zef about brainstorming really quick, because Zef, you have some ideas about the brainstorming session, which is the strategy part, the step 2.
Yep.
I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
That's a great question. Thank you. So talking about strategy, so let's just quickly get into the tips of the conversation, right? So for all of you out there, you want to be successful in your business, and you have the 3 killer strategies that Julie mentioned just now. Money, strategy, and also help. And since we're talking about strategy, I'm going to start with my tips, and Julie was spot on about talking about brainstorming, because that's what actually I want to share with everybody today. One of the biggest things that I do with my team, or even when I collaborate with people, I'm such a visual person. I need to see things, because if I don't, I'm lost, and I need to be visual. And sometimes I doodle my thoughts and ideas. Sometimes I'll just take tons and tons of paper and start drawing and put them on the wall, and that's my brainstorming. But until I found a great tool which is called Mindmeister. It's a mind mapping tool, and what it does for me, and it has helped me and my team, is actually, I can put colors to my ideas, I can put processes, I can put like the people in different colors. So my mind map looks like a tree growing. So for me and my team, we've used this mind mapping tool called Mindmeister. And I'm going to quickly share my screen real quick to kind of share with everybody what Mindmeister looks real quick. So if you look at my screen, mindmeister.com is a collaborative mind mapping tool. And me and my team use this to kind of collaborate on ideas on projects and all stuff that we do. You know, if it's a big project or we want to create creative briefs, you know, we use this. It's actually, it has a basic free mind mapping what you call it, plan, and you can actually see what it is. There's other stuff like Spider Scribe, I think, but it's really awesome. And you can actually watch this video right here, and you can see them really, really, you know, mapping out your ideas. So that's what I actually use with my team. And share so you can see my face, right? So that's one of
that is so awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I think many people feel a little bit overwhelmed because if they've never done that kind of brainstorming, then I think you need to sit down with somebody to really help you through it. Because I actually attended one of these free classes in New York with my friend Pauline Cam, who actually teaches mind mapping. You would not believe it because you would see how your ideas grow. That really has helped me plan my strategy and be visual about, you know, what I do. And the best thing about Mindmeister is an app, so you can literally go anywhere with it. You can literally be on the toilet seat, on your tablet, and on your smartphone, because we all know the best ideas come to you during that time, right, Julie?
Well,
come on,
actually, I do better in the shower. I do better in the shower,
Yeah, you'll get a phone right now, like the Samsung phone has a waterproof one. You can do it while you're in the shower. You're absolutely right, Sondra. Yeah, and one more thing, you know, if you're stuck in traffic, you know, you can actually, you know, like I said, you probably see something on the road and you're stuck in traffic. You want to put on, you might just do that, you know, or you can, yeah. And the thing is, you men out there, I know many of you go out there with your wives shopping and you're playing with your phone instead of checking Facebook. You can always doodle on Mindmeister and make it, you know, fun. So, like I said, that's a great tool to have because the app is so versatile. You can do it on your desktop, you can do it on your tablets, and you can do it on your smartphone. So that's a great tool for strategy.
I just think that there's a lot of value also in just brain dumping, that you don't necessarily need to map it out and link the thoughts, but there's so many thoughts going all the time, especially when you're an entrepreneur. You have so many ideas.
Yes.
Just dump it out.
Yes.
Dump it out and write out every thought that comes to your mind until you can't think of anything else, and then you get to just and then you get to work through it.
Absolutely, and you're right about the dumping part, because we can only carry so much, and Julie taught me this too, right? You can only carry so much in your head. You can only process so much at a time, so you need to actually put it down and dump it somewhere.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where sometimes I say, don't tell me one more thing, because if you tell me one more thing, I'm going to forget all the thousands of things that I actually need right now. So please, not one more word.
So Julia, how about you? What are your tips, you know, to help our audience today?
I think my real tip is about the money piece, which we spent a little bit of time on.
Yeah.
But I think when you know how much you want to make for 12 months, and if you've been in business for longer than a year, here's my tip. Whatever number you choose, write it down on a big piece of paper. Hang on.
Let me do this. Now go. I just had to do that.
Write it down on a piece of paper and show it to a friend.
$100,000.
If that's the number.
Yes.
The next step is cross it off.
Step number 2.
And Double it.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Double the number.
There you go. So
The
we always
reason why
want to
you
double
want,
it?
yeah, the reason why you want to double the number is because if you give yourself a slight increase from what you did last year,
Yeah.
you're basically going to do the same exact strategies. The kind of strategies that you're going to come up with will not be that unique, unusual, pushing the envelope. It's going to be more of the same of what you've done.
Right.
And so when you double the number, you will first of all probably have a very definite feeling about it. You might get sweaty palms. You might get a bowling ball in your stomach.
Yeah.
You might get very excited, fantasizing about what you're going to do with that money. But it's going to get you thinking, well, I can't do what I did this year, because if I do what I did this year, I'm just going to have to double that, and I'm only one person, or maybe we're a company, but we'd have to double our efforts if we did exactly the same thing. It's going to push the strategy session into that other realm, which will then result in the brainstorming, which, Zef, I love so much what you've shared with me today. I'm going to go and get Mindmeister today. I'm going to go check it out and start using it.
That's
But
awesome.
when you do the brainstorming session with your team who loves you and cares about you, they're going to throw out amazing ideas that you've never even thought of before.
Yeah.
And so that's the hot tip, is don't settle with your first number. Cross that number out, double it, and then you're going to see what a genius you really are, because when you get into the strategy session, it's going to really push you to push your business.
How about you, Sondra? Any tips for our audience out there, to help them be successful?
Absolutely. It's important to surround yourself with people that are inspiring to you, because otherwise you might feel complacent. You reach your goals, you feel like you've plateaued, and that's it. So I think it's really important to find people that give you the motivation to go a step further, that make you think outside of the box just a little bit more every single time you see them. I mean, for me, I know that there's so many successful people that are doing really great things in Seattle, and it's definitely a hub for people like that. So I really make it my goal to find people who are doing something different that maybe I hadn't thought of before, like super interns.
Yay!
And I think it's like a no-brainer, but I hadn't heard of someone doing it before. And there's a lot of, I just think that finding that inspiration can push you to new levels. And then that goes back into the help. If you build a relationship with these people, they're the people that are going to give you the 2 cents that you need to be able to go a step further with where you are with your business. I do believe that humans are extremely collaborative. I mean, we're clearly social creatures. Relying on only yourself, you're probably not going to get as far as you want to. And then the other thing I want to bring up too is, for me, I started this business on my own. I don't have the fortune of having a business partner go and do this with me. I have people that I can bounce ideas off of, but they're not necessarily part of my team. So one of the most important things I would say too, especially if you're working at it alone, is find an accountability partner. Find someone who is just as motivated as you are.
Very true.
Make it a priority to meet with them once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever it is, but build it into your schedule, because that way you actually, when you have these ideas and you set your strategy and you set your goals, it's not staying in here. You're actually sharing that information with someone else. You can bounce those ideas, and it makes it really easy to track your progress that way. So finding that partner, I think, even if they're not part of your business, but just someone that you can bounce ideas off of, is just so, so helpful.
So that's all great points, and we're at the inspiration point of the show, and I wanted to kind of share with you ladies and also our audience today. I'm going to quickly share with you my screen, because I found this quote I think on Facebook or a Google search, I can't remember, but it says, sure, this is, General Colin Powell said, there are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. And I think this is what it's all about. And just like what you mentioned earlier, Julie, 2 out of 3 key killer strategies to business success that you mentioned earlier were strategy and help. So let me ask you this, Sondra. What's a typical day of preparation and hard work for you? Because if we're looking at here, is one of the secrets to success is preparation and hard work. What's a typical day of preparation and hard work looks for you, and how do you define measure of success when it comes to productivity?
Yeah, so I think one of the big things that I've been trying to avoid as a pitfall that I've seen from other entrepreneurs is that a lot of people like to start their own business because they want to do what they love to do. And in order to actually do that, there's a lot of things that you have to do to be successful within that. So it's important to remember that not all of your tasks are going to be fun, and there are things that are maybe mundane or overwhelming, and they're not necessarily your favorite thing to do. And it's really important to make sure you still do those things too. There's a really quick Elon Musk quote that I really like. It's, if you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. So for me, I write up a list of all the things that I need to do to reach my goals. And if I look at that list, and it might be like 50 things that I need to do over the span of a week, and that can be really overwhelming. So I always bring it down day by day. What do I need to do today? And the biggest thing that I have found, and I actually I read the book The One Thing by Mr. Keller of Keller Williams. If you do one thing per day that is the utmost important thing for you to reach your goals, you can line all those up and you'll reach your success. What's easy for me, and I fall into the trap of wanting to do the easy stuff that's kind of fun, and then I end up leaving the really important stuff that actually really, really, really needs to get done. Yeah. And I know that I'm that way. Yeah. And I've learned that. So now I highlight the one thing that I want to procrastinate. And I say, this is what I need to do today. And I make sure that I do it. And if I get through it, maybe it takes 3 days to accomplish that goal. But once I check that one thing off the list, it feels so good. And that's what feels productive. That's what makes me feel successful, is I know that, okay, this is not fun. I don't want to do it, but you know what? I did it anyways, and now I...
Because you're gritting your teeth and go like, I gotta finish it. I gotta finish it. Right. So, folks, we're actually at the end of the show, and I wanted to just kind of share with you what you can do post-show. Of course, the show is on right here on www.entrepreneurs.soar.com, and the hashtag is Creative Chat Cafe. And before I go, I just want to share our screen real quick. This is where you can go and actually join our specific Creative Chat Cafe community on Google+. So you can actually join us. We would love to hear about you when you come on and join us. It's an open community. Come in and introduce yourself. Click on the introduce yourself, and then post something for us, a video, or just introducing yourself, so we know what to do. We don't want ghosts in here. We want to be, we want to be having conversations with you. So this is where you would go, Creative Chat Cafe, Google Plus community. And before we go, I just want our guests right here to kind of share with the audience, how to get in touch with them. If you want someone to help you with internships, you can actually go to Super Julie. And if you need help with just managing your life, Sondra's right there. So Julie, why don't you tell our audience how they would connect with you?
Yeah, just go to the website, superinterns.com, and you'll find lots of information on how to engage with us, whether you want to be an intern or get interns, or even if you're looking for some career coaching, we do that as well for people who can't seem to find a job or they interview a lot. we can tell you why, and we can help you get the next interview and land that job.
Yay! Thank you, Julie. And Sondra, why don't you tell our audience how they can connect with you?
Yeah, so feel free to visit my website, pursuitofseattle.com. You can check out and see what kinds of services we offer. Though we are based in Seattle for virtual assistants, we can help anyone in the world, really. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm always looking for new minds to bounce ideas off of. It's a huge part of my process. Feel free to find me on Twitter at Seattle Sondra, and it's Sondra with an O. You can see it right there.
Right there.
And then the other thing too that I've been having a lot of fun with is Instagram. I love seeing the world from other people's perspectives and seeing what kind of food people eat and what gorgeous sunsets people watch. So I'm on Instagram, Seattle Sondra. I just love connecting with people however they love to connect with me.
Woohoo! Thank you, ladies. Such a great job, and I just want to thank you both ladies for joining us on Creative Chat Cafe. So before we go, as usual, let's raise our marks and looking forward to the next awesome Creative Chat Cafe next Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a creative and productive day, everybody. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.